Brian Powell of I Run Far here with Abby Mitchell before the 2019 Vibram Hong Kong 100K. How are you, Abby?
Doing well. How are you?
Nice. It's
Good.
nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
So this is our first time chatting.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear something about your history with running. Like, when did you start? What kind of events?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been running. I did my first trail race when I was in 5th grade, I think, and
Really?
have ran competitively through high school and college. Did a few road marathons after school, but really started diving into it the most seriously when I moved to Boulder, Colorado a few years ago, and just kind of knew I really wanted to dive into the sport seriously, and really moved to Boulder largely for that reason, and have a community around the sport.
So you've been running for a while, but you've been trail running as long as you've been running.
Yeah, exactly. I ran cross country mainly, so not as many trail races growing up, not as many opportunities for that, but really got into it when I was living in California and knew, okay, I want to be in a place where there's, a whole community around this, and where I can, be surrounded by peers that are into it too.
So you did cross country in high school. Did you do this in university as well?
Yep. I ran at a little D3 liberal arts school in college. And
which one?
Wheaton College.
Okay.
Yeah.
D3 runner as well. So.
Yeah. Cool. Nice.
So you did that, and what events did you run on the track? I assume you did that as well.
Yeah. I mainly was an 800-meter runner actually. So I love that race. It's a painful one. I'm still not sure what's harder.
It's funny. People think like the longer you go, the harder it is. No, I swear, 800 meters is the most painful race I've ever done.
I know. It's brutal. Yeah.
So just going along for 100K, 105K, no problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the 50-mile distance, you've had a couple really good races.
Yeah.
You've had I think 7th at North Face 2 years ago, and then 6th at Lake Sonoma last year.
Yeah.
How have you sort of dialed that distance in?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess, I don't know. I think it's like a nice blend of the strengths that I maybe naturally have of, I don't know. It's felt like a good distance for me, in that it's long enough to really, dial in like nutrition and all of that, but it's not so long that it's like, I don't know. I've had some issues with some of the longer distances, so it's just a sweet spot for me.
Well, that leads me to the next question. Like you've run, 125K and up at least 3 times, and kind of missed your mark on all of them. Is there a common theme amongst like what went wrong? Because you run Leadville twice and didn't hit, I'm sure, the results you wanted in Trans Gran Canaria. Yeah, for sure. I've been dealing with some lung issues that I've been trying to figure out actually with those longer distances, but I'm super proud that I gutted it out to those finishes in those races. That's meant a lot to me. Like when I first started getting into ultras, I think like the 3rd ultra distance thing I did was I wanted to go for the JMT FKT. Yeah. And I've just always had like really big goals, and I just really love to dive right into them. Mm-hmm. And so with Leadville and TGC, it's like I've loved just kind of like setting big scary goals, throwing myself in the mix and seeing what happens. It's like, maybe not the most moderate approach, being only a couple years into the sport, but I've really learned a lot from those. Yeah. It's been really valuable. So here's the 100K. Yeah. And not an easy one, but not one of the slowest either. Yeah. Like, where do you think that fits in between that 50-mile mark and the really long stuff you've done? Yeah, I mean, we'll see, right? Yeah. I certainly hope it goes well. I'm really hoping to take, the confidence I have from the 50-mile races that I've done so far, and the gutting it out and grit that I've maybe learned from some of the longer ones, and piece it all together. So, I mean, the 2 50 miles you had the great success at Sonoma and North Face, so 2 bigger ones, are sort of known as really runnable courses. Yeah. They're Haley, obviously, but have you got some good training in real climbing stuff? Because there's some steep terrain on this course. For sure. Yeah, I've tried to catch as much of that at home in Boulder as I can. We've had some pretty dry trails this winter, so it's been good to just be getting some laps in on Green and Bear and all of our steep peaks around us, and trying to weave that in with flatter, faster stuff too, because this course kind of has a bit of it all. So. Totally. There's some fast terrain, like road paved terrain early in this race. Yeah, and, exactly. It's going to be interesting to watch how it all plays out. I think it's kind of a race that sort of there's a lot of accordion kind of style running, where like somebody's really good at the flat and fast. We just saw Yasmin Nunez run by, like super
exactly,
speed.
Exactly. Yeah.
And maybe on the climbs, Ekaterina.
Right. I know. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I wish I could, be spectating it at the same time as I'm doing it.
Nice. Is there anything you're looking forward to most this weekend?
Oh gosh. Well, we've got a big group of Adidas teammates here, so super excited to be with all of them and be like, I think we're all coming from like 6 countries, so it's super cool that I'll be gathering here in Hong Kong. And
nice.
Excited to spend some time with them. My coach Jason Koop's here too, so it's nice to have like all different forms of community somehow gathering here in the middle of Asia.
Well, best of luck and enjoy your race this weekend.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.